Hey, house
Hi.
guests! Welcome to today's Big Brother Canada 11 Digital Daily Update.
Yeah, that's not too embarrassing.
Happy St.
I
Patrick's
do
Day.
have a green shirt on. It's just reading black right now.
We're
but it's
not.
green.
We're not super Irish. We're only like.
I'm not Irish
You're
at
not
all.
Irish at all. I'm like this much Irish, but this was my grandma's scarf, so I thought it was fitting to wear it today. She wasn't Irish at all, but anyway, she loved holidays.
Remember all of the a-holes from high school who would be like,
Skip school on.
No.
Oh, okay.
who would say, "Are you Irish?" And you would say, well, I would say no, and they would be like, "Would you like to have a little Irish in you?" No.
I'm sure it would be very little, but anyway. Our house guests of the day are Alan Houston and Dan and Sarah D. Thank you all so much for the support. We could not do this without you, and we appreciate it so much.
That's
so thank
awesome.
you again. Yes, and if you guys want to be house guests of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. Yay! Okay, so Jeanette wants us to spill the tea. So
Okay.
we will spill whatever tea we have to spill here.
Is it hot? Maybe not.
It's like mildly
Lukewarm.
hot. Yeah, I'd say a little hotter than lukewarm, but like
It's not cold
it's not
diarrhea,
scalding.
but it's not hot S either.
Yeah. So last night, we saw that JM was evicted by a vote of 11-0. I'm sad to see him
Everybody was
go.
crying.
It was an emotional
except for Rob.
eviction. Yeah. It was very emotional. I think, he fought really hard.
It was really the first eviction.
Yeah. He fought really hard to stay. He put up a good fight, but he just couldn't pull it off. So that's a bummer.
It was sad because he's probably one of the few people in the house who really
Knows
knew
the
the game,
Yeah.
and like wanted to really play, and like
He made a critical error though.
Yeah.
Critical error. So
Sometimes that happens.
yeah. Arissa let the house guests know that the dead last twist is dead ass. It's over. Which was like very short-lived, but it's fine because do we really need 3 nominees up every week when the third nominee was probably almost always going to be one of the women?
I'm sure it was probably supposed to last for at least 2 weeks, but like since they lost them all, it threw things off with the comps.
It's possible.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe not. Maybe it was only supposed to last 1 week.
Maybe. But the HOH competition was in progress when the episode ended. In progress. And I gotta say, these cliffhangers are brutal when we don't have live feeds. We had to wait until this morning to find out who won HOH, which we'll get to in a second. Yeah. But the house guests had to like go down this giant slide.
Slip and slide.
Yeah, and you had to throw, or if you're one of the taller people,
just
place your ball into a funnel. And keep doing that for an hour.
Who was this comp geared to win?
Definitely the talls and not the smalls.
And people who are athletic, because you needed stamina to keep running around, going through all of the switchbacks.
Yeah.
Were you allowed to jump the turnstiles?
I don't think so.
Or did you
I think you had to go through the switchbacks.
Okay.
And whoever had the most points after an hour wins. So it's kind of like an endurance, definitely very very athletic competition.
Very grueling, very demanding.
Mm-hmm. An hour is a long time to do that.
There was also an element of strategy to it because
you got to decide which is the best route to take.
Are you going for the 50s? Are you going for the 40s? Are you going for the 30s, the 10s, the 20s?
Yeah, I mean, the more points, the more difficult it was to make the shot.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to
be smart. Don't pour out the shot.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about today's Digital Daily. It was covering last night after the eviction and the HOH was done.
Right.
So it was day 13 in the house. And it was a short one. It was only an hour and 20 minutes.
Good.
I mean, we saw what we needed to see, right? Unless they're like hiding a bunch of shit from us, which I don't think they really are.
No. Was there an audience last night?
No, I don't think they're doing live audiences right now.
At all?
I don't think so.
Is it surging again?
I don't know.
I thought they did have an audience for the move-in. Maybe
no,
I was wrong.
They didn't.
Oh, they didn't?
No.
Okay.
So, okay, Digital Daily. We've got Claudia and Shania chatting in the Circle K room. And we find out that Dan won HOH. Tattoo Dan, DJ Dan.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I mean,
because I don't know what Dan's game is right now.
I don't think anybody does. I have to say, it's always exciting when one of the nominees then turns it around
0 to
and
hero.
wins HOH, unless it's someone I don't like. So
yeah,
that's a big switch up for him. Mm-hmm. Nobody has any idea who he's going to put up on the block.
Mm-hmm.
But the girls were talking and they just knew there was no way that they were going to win this competition. They had a huge disadvantage being on the shorter end.
I mean, Claudia is 5 feet, right? 5'1", I think
like 5
maybe?
feet, yeah. So like if
how's
you're
she
tall,
gonna do that?
Yeah, the tall guys could just kind of like place the balls.
She's no Rasputin.
I know. And then like the shorter people had to actually like toss them. So of course you're gonna miss more shots. That sucks.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Plus, can you imagine scurrying as fast as you can
on those
for
little
an
legs?
hour? For an hour?
Yeah.
I'd be like
yeah, well, I heard I don't remember who it was now, but somebody was saying that Dan runs like marathons and stuff. So
right.
he's got the endurance for something like this. He's got the stamina. But yeah, the girls were talking about how emotional all of the athletic bros got when they lost the HOH comp.
Oh my gosh, especially Hope.
The egos are out of control. Ah! So
good, let them feel it.
Yeah, we learned in a later conversation the top 5 of this HOH competition. So we know that Dan was a winner and he scored like 2,200 something points. That's a lot for an hour. I guess he was going for some of the higher point values. Yeah.
If every shot that he made and was 50 points, he would have had to have made 44 shots.
So and I don't think he was going for all 50s.
So that, yeah. And I don't think he made every shot either. So that is like a minute and change per shot. So a shot is running around. You couldn't grab 2 balls at once.
No, you have
to
do
only
one
do one at a time. So that is a lot of damn shots and a lot of damn running.
Marathon runner, huge advantage for him there.
Yeah.
Rob was second place with 2,000 points. Ty third place with 1,700. Jonathan fourth place with 1,400. And Hope was fifth place with like 1,100 something.
So this was according to Jonathan, and he didn't give a crap about anybody who was under the top 5, meaning I only cared about where the bros were.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know where other people.
Yeah, I don't know how everybody else
stacked up.
Yeah. But wow, all those guys in the top 5, big surprise there.
Great.
So Claudia,
give us a crap shoot.
Yeah, Claudia or something like intelligence based or like something, memory comp. I don't know. Yeah. I guess it's too early to do anything relating to like events in the house, but like some, showing a bunch of pictures or whatever, and then being
give us the order of the fashion show because I'm
not that. They keep studying that. I don't think they need to know that. But anyway,
winners.
Claudia says that Zach is already in Dan's ear. They're not sure who Zach is going to be pushing for this week. There are a lot of people being like, oh, Zach is going to be all over this. Mm-hmm. We saw what happened last week.
Great.
And we heard Zach talking about it last week. I think it was Zach and Ty who were like, oh, if Dan wins HOH, we're going to try and get him to target Roberto or at least put Roberto up on the block.
Right.
So I don't know if that's still the plan or if things have changed.
I mean, I don't know.
I think it's a possibility, especially with Sweatshirt Gate.
Absolutely. I mean, that just didn't go away.
Yeah. So anyway, Santina and Hope were then chatting in the living room. And Santina's asking Hope how the competition went for him. It seemed like he was like fighting back tears talking about this. He was torn up about losing. Not only losing, but getting 5th place. Ooh. I don't think he was expecting that.
But he was the number 1 guy in the group.
He was planning on coming in here and winning every single competition, but that's just not how it goes.
Mm-mm. I mean, so was Zach.
All these guys.
Zach was like, I'm going to tear this up. I'm an athlete. Then when he got in here, he realized he was like not the number 1 guy in the group.
Yeah. So Hope was lamenting. I think he was going for like the 10, the easiest one, pretty much every time.
Ones were too hard.
Because he was like, oh well, this is pretty much a guarantee. So I'm just gonna follow like the consistent, steady route, and he was like busting his ass doing that.
Slow and steady wins the race.
This time it only got him 5th place. So
right. I mean, there was a big disparity between his slot and the first slot. Because what did he get? Like 1,100? And
yeah, Dan got like double what he got.
Yeah, Dan got double. So like,
yeah. And Hope was just like, I worked so hard on my body. I've done like insane things to get my body like this.
We know.
That's not everything. All right.
No,
well, anyway, I just can't with these guys. So then Zach and Daniel are chatting in the library. This conversation didn't really end up being anything. I started taking notes on it because I thought it was gonna like turn into more, but then people started coming into the room.
I mean, it's Daniel just still complaining that nobody's talking game to him. He doesn't know where Dan's head is at because the last time he talked to him, he gave him 0.
Yeah. And Zach was like, yeah, I know, right? Like, it's crazy. So Zach says the queen, meaning Kuzi, actually came up to him. The king. They've been calling her the queen, though.
Yeah.
She went up to Zach and asked him if he threw that HOH competition. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know that he would have won anyway, but I wouldn't be surprised if he threw it.
Wasn't he? He wasn't in the top 5?
No.
Oh.
I wouldn't be surprised because he wants to pull the strings behind the scenes.
He doesn't want blood on his hands.
It's not really behind the scenes because everyone seems to know now that he's trying to do this.
He wants to stab you in the front, not in the back.
He thinks he's slick, but
he's not.
All right. So there were multiple conversations throughout this digital daily about how things are going to really pick up now and move faster because that first week, is a little bit bloated. There's some extra days in there.
Still not quite grasping how fast it's going to move.
Yeah. The house guests are trying to figure out what day certain things will happen, like nominations, POV ceremony, all this stuff.
Oh, I guess nominations will be done before the end of the week.
Yeah, like today. Clearly, there are no live feed viewers left in this cast.
No.
Because they don't know what's going on. I think they're in for a surprise when they see nominations today popping up on the screen.
Absolutely.
Unless, I don't know, maybe Big Brother is changing things up this season, but I don't think so.
I don't think so. They got to get these interns working to get this right so that they can get this edited on time. Unlike that big mess up where they put up the wrong freaking video.
I gotta say,
what a way to kick off the season.
Yeah, when I saw that the video was up early today, I was like, thank you, Big Brother, getting it done.
That's right.
But anyway, Kuzi and Anika were chatting in the Flamingo room. And Kuzi's asking, who do you think Zach would target? Because again, everybody knows that even though Dan is the HOH.
Zach has got his hand up his anal canal,
Zach
pulling the strings.
Is in the
He's pulling the
ears.
Strings, the intestines.
Oh. So Anika thinks that Zach would target the boys. What? What are you talking about?
Are you on?
What are you talking about right now? Unless she means Rob, because I could see that as a possibility, but I would not call targeting Rob the boys. The boys implies more than one to me.
Right. I don't remember, but when Ty was having his chats with Anika, both on the broadcast show and on the live the dailies, was he already bad-mouthing Rob?
I think so.
So she knows.
Zach and Ty have both been talking crap about Rob for a few days now, at least. Right. But I don't know if they would actually make that move this early and try to get Dan to take him out, or if it's just all talk. You know what I mean?
Maybe Zach senses and Ty senses that Rob's going to do something soon, because I mean, he was kind of not hiding his disgust.
There's been tension. There's been a lot of tension in this guys group.
So
a lot of big egos.
Kill or be killed.
Yeah. So I don't know. But Anika saying that Zach is going to target the boys, like, what? She is buying whatever he is selling, hook, line, and sinker, apparently.
Yeah.
But they're not sure who Dan is going to put up. Kuzi thinks maybe Santina could be a possibility since she did put Dan up last week.
That would be the easy choice,
right?
And I could definitely see that happening with maybe Rob.
Mm-hmm.
And
Anika points out that Santina is like all over Dan now that he won HOH. She's like hanging out with him, giggling.
But he doesn't really like her, right? He likes Shania.
apparently everybody's saying that Dan has a crush on Shania, which means like there's a love square there.
Honestly, I thought Rob was gay, or at least bi.
Not Dan?
Rob, Dan.
Yeah, I don't know. Everybody's saying he's got a crush on Shania. He's always bringing her food, hanging out with her. So I don't know.
Oh, Jody, thank you so much
for
the super chat. Happy St. Pat's Day to you as well.
Hope you have a good time.
Yes. Not too good.
So there's just a lot of uncertainty about what Dan is going to do this week. He hasn't been talking much game with anybody, even though he was on the block last week and campaigning.
I don't think he knows what campaigning means.
I think he's very, very new to the game and does not understand, like,
nice guy,
how to talk game.
Not great at Big Brother, but he is good at the comp.
Yeah, I mean, he's been good at 2 comps now, we've seen. So, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what he does. But then we have Jonathan and Rob talking about how bummed they are that they didn't win. We were getting
their stats, their rankings.
We were getting some more info about how this went down and why they went for certain routes as opposed to others, blah, blah, blah. And
Rob, we find out, was in a real rhythm. He was like, I was going to lean this way, I lean this way, I lean that way, and shot.
Did anybody try to pull a Ralphie from Christmas Story and like put their legs out to stop on the slide and just bloop?
Red Ryder BB gun.
Maybe we weren't allowed to do that. I don't know. But
I mean, why not?
Yeah. Again, they're talking about how torn up the guys are. And Rob says Hope actually said, damn, we should have voted out Dan instead of JM. I think there's some regret.
Listen to me.
There's some regret there. And Jonathan and Rob were both like, yeah, maybe.
Because JM wouldn't have done well in this comp at all.
I mean,
too short.
You never know. He might have, but
I don't think so.
Probably not.
He doesn't look very athletic. I mean, when he did that snake thing, it was
sharp.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's got anything to do with
I don't know if those skills were translated.
Sinking balls.
I don't know. But they were saying, torn. Hope was also really upset about JM leaving, and JM like gave him his necklace or something.
Yeah.
So they were very close. But
yeah,
they're kind of regretting now keeping Dan around.
I really wish they would have shown more of like the misfits of the house, like the rejects, as they're called. What did they call them? Outcasts. Because we're only seeing the dumb guys and a couple of the girls who are with the dumb guys. We're not seeing like the crap side of the house. I mean,
I don't know.
Not that they're crappy. I've hardly seen Vanessa.
Well, we saw Vanessa today. We're gonna get there.
We saw her today, but like
she's been cleaning and cooking a lot.
Great.
Yeah. Well, just to wrap up this Jonathan and Rob conversation, they feel like they should be okay with Dan this week. Are they though? I'm sure Jonathan is, but I don't know about Rob because he is one that I feel like maybe Zach and Ty would try to convince Dan to target.
Do you feel like there is some sort of a competition for Shania between Rob and Dan?
It's possible, and somebody was joking about that. It might have who was it? Oh, I think it was Claudia and Ty were joking about that at one point, saying like, "Oh, if Dan takes out Rob, he'll have Shania all to himself." I don't know.
I mean, are the Bucks, hitting horns and
maybe? I don't know.
Let's see.
So Kuzi and Vanessa.
Right.
We get some Vanessa here.
Finally.
They're chatting in the kitchen. And Kuzi says, like, I think Zach could be trying to call the shots again this week. And Vanessa agrees. They saw what happened last week. They know that Zach was behind that a lot. But they feel like Dan is kind of like a lone wolf right now. Hasn't been talking game with anyone. I feel like I keep saying the same things over and over again. Right. But Vanessa says that Dan is a smart little guy. And she would be down to work with him.
Little guy.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
That's what I thought she said. Anyway,
every time I see Vanessa in those white pants, I think, oh my gosh, she looks great in those. Do you think those are Lululemons?
Who knows?
I wonder if you know. Leave it in the comments. What brands of athletic pants are those? Because
why you want some?
Hey, if my ass could look like hers in those pants, I would definitely get them.
No. Well, Kuzi says she wants to try and encourage Dan to maybe like make a big move this week. I'm not sure who exactly she's referring to when she's saying like make a big move. I don't know if she means one of the guys. I don't know if she's talking about Santina. But Kuzi's gonna tell him, like, look, you don't know if you're gonna win another HOH, and people clearly see you as a threat. You were up on the block last week. You're doing well in competitions.
Go for the gusto.
So maybe try to do something big here.
Like on Survivor, when you get the loser edit that you go in that week, you're gonna get all your camera time in that week, and they give you a lot of camera time so that people aren't like, hey, who was that person who just got voted out?
I don't know. So then we saw Claudia and Ty Maintenance all cuddled up in one of the lounges or the parlor or whatever they're calling it. I can't with these two. I don't like the showmance.
I don't see the attraction between these two.
I don't either. It seems so like manufactured and just like, we need a showmance for the season.
That kiss was so
lame.
Yeah. It was one of the least romantic kisses that I've seen on the show.
Yeah. I feel like they were like, okay, it's snowing outside. There's going to be hella romantic. And then it was just like no substance there. I don't know. But they were like, oh my God, I can't believe our kiss was like probably on TV by now. Oh my God.
Like episode 3. It was 5.
Well, there was a little bit of game talk here. Claudia was asking, like, what do you think Dan is going to do? Do you think that Rob could be in trouble this week?
Yeah.
Ty says, maybe.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, how do you feel about that?
Is he waiting for her to say, good, I hope he dies?
I mean, that's what it seemed like he was
just
looking
leave
for.
me that sweatshirt.
He seems very suspicious still about the whole sweatshirt gate situation. Oh my God.
I was surprised to see them that cuddled up because I didn't see any resolve in the sweatshirt gate yet.
I don't know. I mean, it is a new week, so maybe because there's uncertainty right now, Ty wants to make sure that he's
any
good.
port in the storm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be surprised. So you know who Claudia is having issues with? Claudia said, I love Renee, and I think we'll be friends outside this house.
Oh, hi.
She says Renee is driving her crazy right now.
What are we going to do?
I think Renee is a blast so
I love
far.
Renee.
But then again, we're not living with her, so.
No. At first, I was annoyed. Now, I'm entertained.
Very entertained.
Entertained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So... yeah, I don't know if she's saying she wants Renee to go or what the deal is. Maybe she's just saying that to try and like downplay the girls' alliance.
I mean, that's possible.
It is possible because Ty was sniffing around about that.
You could still really like somebody that you're annoyed by.
Of course. But Ty did his impression of Renee, and I gotta say it was pretty spot on. It was a good one. So that's pretty much.
Here, well, let me do my Ty impression.
Yeah.
What'd you just say?
I don't know. But that was pretty much all we saw. The only other thing I would mention is Anika was talking to Hope. Mm-hmm. And again, she's like, I don't know what Dan is going to do. She seems a little bit worried that she could be at risk. So she was asking Hope to like vouch for her when he talks to Dan.
Do you get the feeling Anika is going to be around for a while as a pawn/goat?
I could see that. I could see her getting dragged.
Yeah.
As
drag
a
her.
pawn week after week for sure.
Yeah.
And I think people are going to use her for a vote.
Mm-hmm.
Because she doesn't really know what's going on.
Exactly. She doesn't know the game.
Mm-hmm.
She's not good at the comps. And she's not that likable.
Yikes. But anyway.
Sorry.
No, I mean, that's what we're seeing so far.
Stating the obvious.
Yeah. So we didn't see people really having any one-on-one chats with Dan in this daily. I think most people thought, we have more time until nominations. I'm going to wait because I don't want it to seem like I'm like desperate. So nobody was really having any game chats with him yet and asking what he was thinking. And I guess that's like all we get until Monday. Nominations should be happening today in real time.
Yeah.
But I don't think we're going to know anything till Monday. And then like the veto's already going to be over by then. It's wild.
Yeah. I have to say before we sign off that if everybody could send some positive vibes for Troy's mom. She just got into hospice.
I'm so sorry, Troy.
And she's 87 years old. And
we will be praying for you and your mom and your family.
So sorry for for your news.
Yeah.
You know, I wish it could be better, but I feel your pain. I mean, we just went through that with my mom, so we'll be thinking about you this weekend.
Absolutely.
And your mom. So that's where we're at.
Yep. So we hope you all have a wonderful weekend.
If you can.
Yeah. No idea who's going up on the block.
No.
I have no idea. I don't know. I know nothing. So we'll see what happens. But let us know in the comments who you think Dan should or will put up on the block.
Who you want.
Yeah.
Make sure you specify if it's one of those three.
And thank you for being here. Happy St. Patrick's Day. And until next time, much love. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Goodbye.